Welcome to Recharge TV. This is our very first podcast ever. My name is Brandon, otherwise known as TheAppUniverse. I am joined with my two lovely co-hosts, partnered streamers on here.
On the weekend, streaming live streams and story-based games.
And we have BrizzleMcFizzle.
What's up, guys? I am also on Mobcrush. Imagine that. You can find me on Thursday and Friday, and most often Saturday on Mobcrush. BrizzleMcFizzle. That's my name. That's where you can find me. I'll be in the chat.
Awesome. Okay, so this is our first show, so I'm going to give you a little rundown of how things are going to work here. So this is going to be all things mobile gaming. We'll have some electronic stuff too and whatever, but it's going to be primarily mobile gaming, which is why we're having this on Mobcrush, because Mobcrush is mobile. We are going to be doing giveaways as well, hopefully every broadcast. That's the idea. And there are going to be different things. And this specific giveaway was made by Yuma. It's a super cool talk so that you can...
Oh yeah, here, the microphone will focus on me. This is Callie from Callie's Caves 3.
It is pretty neat. I don't know how she does it. Something with melting things and irons and I don't know. It's crazy. So anyways, so there's that. We have hopefully a special guest every week. This week we have somebody who goes by the name of Jordan from Callie's Cave 3. If you could go ahead and say hello.
Hi everybody, I'm Jordan. I'm the developer of Callie's Cave 3. You can find my games on the AppStore or on Google Play if you're on Android.
And I believe it's on Steam now as well, so you can get it there. It's free everywhere, and I believe it's $2.99 to unlock the Plus mode.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, awesome. And hopefully somebody can put in the chat the Twitter and links for all those downloads and such. We actually have a video before we go ahead and get into the interview of the Callie Caves trailer. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on and play that. Maybe. I'm like a one-man production team over here.
You got this, man. I believe in you.
Super cool game. I actually played it for like the first time today.
Yeah.
and it was super fun. So everything about it was really cool. There's like all sorts of cool gun upgrades and such. It's super fun to play, and being free is awesome. Before I hand it off to Brizzle, she's going to be asking most of the questions. Before I hand it off to her, I want you guys to know that if you have any questions, feel free to post them in chat, and we will get to them later on after we are done with the interview. But alas, I give you BrizzleMcFizzle, who will be asking all sorts of cool questions.
Yay.
Yes. Just kidding. Hey, what's up? Oh my gosh. So first of all, like, I'm so glad that you're here. Callie's Caves seriously is one of my favorite games on mobile.
Thank you
Probably
so much.
total. But seriously, like, everybody knows I play Vainglory a lot, but Callie's Caves is probably one of my favorite platform games just in general. So I'm totally stoked that you agreed to do the show with us, because I'm kind of really excited because I really love your game. So
Well, thank you
very
very much. I really liked watching all your videos of you playing through the game, so that was a real treat for us as well. So thanks for inviting us on.
I apologize for all of probably the accidental swearing as I fell into lava
Yeah,
and
it's kind of a
water
brutal
and
game.
spike pits, spike
Yeah.
pits all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little mad. So anyway, so first of all, like, so you released this awesome game, and just so everybody knows, there's Callie's Caves 3. That's what we're going to be talking about mostly tonight, but there's also a Callie's Caves 1 and 2. So why did you go for, like, going on mobile first as the platform that you developed your game on, as opposed to going straight to Steam or Facebook or any other application?
Well, we mostly developed it for mobile because that's what me and the two other people on the team play the most. Like, we mostly love iOS games. Like, I got into iOS gaming right around when it started, and I've just loved it ever since. So we decided to go make it for mobile because that's the platform we love playing games on the most, so we figured that would help us make the best game. We did just put it out on Steam recently, and that was more of a afterthought because we thought, oh, hey, this would probably work really good on Steam, but our main focus was for mobile.
That's so cool. So, like, what games would you say on mobile inspired you or kind of tempted you to use mobile as your platform?
Probably a really big one is called Mage Gauntlet. It's from a few years ago, and I'm sure a lot of the people watching will probably know it, but it's kind of like a Super Nintendo style game and I got it on my iPod Touch a long time ago, and that was the first one that made me think this is more than what's a typically mobile game that you would think of. It's more than like a puzzle game or something simple. There was a lot to it, and I thought I would really love to make something like that. So that's probably the game that inspired us the most.
That's awesome. That is so cool. Yeah, like, mobile is probably one of my favorite platforms, clearly, because I stream on Mobcrush all the time. My favorite games are mobile, but there's so much potential here. So it's awesome when, really talented people see potential in the platform and they use it. So here's another question for you.
Okay.
Callie, is kind of your atypical choice, I would say, for a hero or heroine in a game. So what was your inspiration behind making a tiny little child, female girl, the huge hero and kind of the opposite of the damsel in distress? Her parents are the damsels in distress. What was your motivation behind that?
Yeah, our main motivation behind that was I have a little niece named Annie, and I was talking to her when we were trying to come up with our game idea, and she was talking about how not enough games starred girls like her. And she just turned 6 today. Actually, it was her birthday, and so happy birthday, Annie, if you're watching. But she said there wasn't enough heroes, so we thought, wouldn't it be cool to make a game that would be perfect for every other little girl like her and have somebody they can look up to? There's plenty of games out there for boys that star boys and stuff like that, right? So we thought we'd try to make a game for everyone, but make it with a hero that would reach out to those kids that don't have a hero to look up to,
That is so cool. So does Annie actually, did she play the game? Did you say, hey, I made this game and you inspired this amazing badass hero?
Yeah,
Maybe not the A word, but...
Yeah, definitely. Got all those play with her, and she gives me and stuff like that. So she the favorite version of it, and she would give me feedback, and her big brother does too, and they tell me what they thought of it as kids, and it's a really great perspective to have as a game designer. So yeah, I play it with her a lot. It's fun.
That's so cool. My coworker, he's got a pretty young son, and I told him about all these games that I play. He was really excited when he found out that I was really into streaming and mobile gaming. And I told him about Callie's Caves and as well as other games, and he loves it. That's his favorite game out of all the game suggestions that
awesome.
I gave him. But not necessarily Callie, but Bara is his favorite.
Yeah, a lot of people love Bara.
Bara is totally his favorite character. So what made you decide? So for people who haven't played through it, Bara is based off of an enemy that was in Callie's Caves 2, right?
That's correct. Yeah, in Callie's Caves 2, there's these bear cub enemies, and we decided that they were way too cute. Originally, it's not nice to go kill cute looking animals or whatever in the game, so we we tried to make them look more evil in the first game, and then you fight this mama bear at one point. It's a boss. So
Aw.
for Callie's Caves 3, we decided to try to kind of bring that around and give it a happy ending. We would make one of the bears actually a cute bear again and make it your partner. And then in her story, it kind of goes off and reunites with her mom at the end of it and saves her mom and everything. So,
Aww.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh wait, spoiler alert.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh man, that is super awesome. So you recently released the game on Steam. We talked about that earlier. What was so you said that it was kind of like something just kind of happened naturally, kind of like an afterthought?
Yeah, like we didn't, when we made the game, we didn't plan for it to be on Steam. We thought, because wanted to focus on it being a mobile game, but after it was out, we thought there might be enough to it that people might like it on Steam if it's an option for them. And there's also a process to get on Steam called Steam Greenlight, and we kind of just wanted to experiment with it and just try and see, like, hey, would this pass the process and actually get for sale on Steam? And it did eventually get greenlit, and it's been up since January 6th, and it's been doing okay on Steam, so we're really happy about that for sure.
That's awesome.
But our main platform's still mobile, just because that's what we love. So.
And that's not easy to do either.
Yeah, it took a while. It took us about a month to get everything, because we didn't want to just shovel it onto Steam and have just the same version or whatever. So we definitely put in the extra work to make sure it was good. So.
Right.
That's so cool. So, like, speaking of, like, the amount of work it goes into making a game, like, it took you guys a month to get it to Steam, and I'm sure it took way longer to produce it. I took a look at your guys' blog, and you guys outline in a lot of detail, like, what it takes to get the game made. There's the music, there's, like, you mentioned talking about the terrain blocks on your blog, and how, like, you have them set in such a way that you don't really see the ends of the pieces, and you have to create all these extra pieces to make that happen. And, that takes a lot of time. So a lot of people, I think, associate, game development with, like, huge studios or even, like, businesses and stuff. But you're an indie developer. What did it take for you to get, into developing it, and what, what did it take to get it actually developed?
Well, it took us about a year to make Callie's Caves 3, and my two the other guys on my team, whose names are Dave and OHKO, the artist, they both worked full time, and I worked full time on it as well. So, like, if you think about it, that's a lot of work, right? But the good thing is that now is a time where with a platform like iOS or Android and stuff, anybody that does put in the time to create something can get it out really easily. So if somebody else was trying to get into game development, I would definitely say, hey, be careful. It's going to take you a lot of time and a lot of effort. But if that's what you really want to do, then you should pursue it, and you have this chance to get your game out to millions of people tomorrow if it's done. You know what I mean? So
wow.
It's a lot of work, and it did take us a really long time, and we're hoping that our next game won't take quite that long, and that we've learned from what we did and will be faster next time. So
I hope so too, because I really want to play Callie's Caves 4 because I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're hoping to release our next game in the fall of this year, so that's our goal right now.
And spoiler alert, I heard that there's consumables in the game, and I heard there's going to be a hot dog consumable. We all know my affinity for hot dogs.
We're definitely going to put in a hot dog consumable because you're one of our favorite streamers, and we really appreciated your streams the last time, and so we wanted to give a special shout out for BrizzleMcFizzle in the game. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that when it comes out.
So what you're saying is that if I play it enough, you guys will grow to like me, and I'll get my own, like, spaceship.
There you go. Yeah, we'll make you a character in the game.
A character?
What? A character? That sounds great.
Oh, wait, I'm overpromising.
Overpromising.
I will fight you, AppUniverse. I will fight
So we got some questions actually from the chat. Extreme Gamer wants to know, ask Jordan what he plans to make next.
We're working on our next game now. We just sort of finished up the design of it, and we're not sure if it's going to be another Callie's Caves game or not. We're not quite ready to release those details yet, but it will definitely be another side-scrolling platformer, and it will definitely incorporate our signature, well, it's not really our signature, but the gimmick that we use for the Callie's Caves games, which is when you use the weapons, they level up and they change forms and turn into something cooler. So
I love that.
I haven't played too much of Callie's Caves, but when I was playing, I played for quite a while this morning, and that was my favorite part. I couldn't believe when the weapons upgraded, and they get stronger as you go. I think that's probably, like I said, I'm not too far in, but that was so far my favorite part. It's like an automatic upgrade system. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's what everybody likes the best about it for sure.
It's so great. Like when you have, like, you start with like a little tiny laser, and it turns into this giant fat laser that just, like, melts everything through walls.
Yeah.
It's a really good feeling to have that happen to you when you're playing that game. I think my favorite part is when you get floaties to float across the water, because, like, there's so many platform games. I feel like you're jumping across stuff and you fall into the water and it's just like so relentless. Not that it's not for you guys, because it totally was and I hated it and I died all the time. But then you finally get little water floaties and it's amazing and awesome.
Yeah, that was kind of a decision that we learned off of from Callie's Caves 2, because in Callie's Caves 2, she died every time she always hit the water, and a lot of people didn't really like that. So we thought, okay, we need to make this character progress and grow as a person. So in the next game, we'll get her some floaties and make sure that she can swim.
And the spike gun too. I mean, that's another really creative thing too. Like, oh, okay, you can't make this jump, whatever. Just use your spike gun and you can make yourself a staircase. That's
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
There's basically a gajillion weapons, and they all do lots of cool things. You can do fire. You can have heat-seeking missiles. You can have like these blades. It's so cool. So I can talk about the guns all the time. But,
So we got another question from chat, actually. John Trolston wants to know, what does Jordan do in free time? Otherwise, what is he doing while not making games or eating lunch or sleeping?
I'm pretty much making games like every hour of the day except for the last couple hours of the day. So when I'm not making games, I'm usually trying to get my exercise in for the day, or else I'll turn into like a human blob or whatever. So so it's important for me that when my time off to make sure that I eat healthy and exercise, and I try to go with my friends as much as I can, because game development can be a lonely thing because you're sitting in front of a computer 90% of your time. So it's nice to get out there and be with your friends when you can.
And how long did the development of your first game take from conception to release? Birdie has that question.
these are awesome questions.
Yeah, these are awesome questions.
Our first game was, I quit my job 2.5 years ago, I think, on July 1st, and then we set a goal to try to have our first game out by November 1st, and we got it on like October 30th. So we finished it in like 5 months. But I would add the disclaimer to that our first game was a much shorter and smaller game, and we were obviously learning as we were doing it. So looking back, I don't think it's the most amazing game ever now, but at the time we were really proud of it, and I'm still proud that we did that. So
Totally. And I mean, maybe this is just me, but I think 5 months is like super like short for a development time. I mean, I don't actually develop games, so my
really short,
imagination.
And we were learning it too, so it was definitely an accelerated process, and we took our time with Callie's Caves 2 after that, and took about 8 months with that, and then the third game took about a year. So I guess the moral of the story is that if you want to get better, it might take a little more time. So.
And in Kelly's Caves 3, I think I saw there's about 120 unique stages. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. There's 120 levels, and then there's also like a new game plus mode where you go through them again, and the stages are sort of the same, but they're remixed and have new enemies and stuff like that. So.
Wow.
And your guns get even bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
They just end up taking up the whole screen.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's awesome.
Like Callie's sword goes from like this to like this. It's crazy. How she
I
holds it, I'll
haven't
never
played
know.
it yet far enough. How long does the game typically take from beginning to end?
To 100% beat the game is probably about like 8 to 10 hours, depending on how fast you play it. So it's not super long. And it's tough too, because as a game developer, you want to make a game that will last forever, but at the same time, you don't want it to be too boring and grindy. So we hope that we found a good balance with the 8 hours.
It's a good balance, because it took me probably a lot longer than that.
But it was entertaining.
I was trying to play it, and I realized that trying to like shoot them one at a time by jumping is not the correct strategy.
Oh, I do that.
Extreme Gamer asks, if Jordan was able to be in a video game, what video game would he be in?
Smash Brothers.
Smash Bros?
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course, that's awesome.
Would you be your own character, or would you like would your face be like on like Mario's body?
No, I would want to be my own character so I could play myself beating a cloud.
Yeah. I'd probably just want to be Yoshi, just my face on Yoshi's body. Then I'd actually play him. Cool.
Awesome.
All right, well, continue posting in your questions. Oh, actually, we got another one from
Ooh, my
Void.
goodness.
What was your inspiration for the graphic style?
Our inspiration for the graphic style was we wanted to do sort of like Super Nintendo style games, but as you remember it, like if people look at the game, they'll say, oh, that uses more colors or graphics than a Super Nintendo game would, and I agree with that. But when you think about back to the games that you played in Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64, and the way that you remember it in your mind, it looks better than it actually looks now when you go back and play it. So we kind of wanted to get that sort of vibe.
That's cool.
That's exactly what it feels like. I feel like that's exactly like you would totally achieve that.
Thank you. I should also say that a lot of the stuff in the game too was inspired by the Ratchet and Clank series. So earlier I said our signature system is the weapon thing, but really we just kind of copied that from Ratchet and Clank because it's such a good system and we really loved it as like growing up and stuff like that. So
It's a good game. That's fair. I'm totally cool with that. So let's see. We have like a list of questions here. So we talked about Ratchet and Clank being one of your favorite games. Would you say that was like one of your favorite games growing up, or were there other games that you're really into?
yeah, I was really into the Ratchet and Clank series. That was the first series where I saw like where I could do stuff like level something up, and then you know what I mean. Like when I was a
Yeah.
kid, I didn't really have many video games systems or anything like that, so I never played any of the classic like RPG games like Final Fantasy or you know any of those types of games. So Ratchet and Clank was really influential on me when I was a teenager for sure.
Yeah, that's a really good game. I remember just playing it on PSP. I didn't have a lot of like game systems growing up, but that was one of the
Yeah.
games that I really enjoyed playing. So
Will there ever be a robotic flying monkey with a dog riding in him?
Oh, God.
Okay, tweet that idea at me and I'll see what I can do for sure. That sounds interesting.
I will have nightmares for weeks if that happens.
Question from Riddler. What's your favorite game aside from your own developments? I guess that would be Ratchet and Clank, or is it different from what's your favorite and what inspired you?
If you wanted to talk about my favorite game of all time, it's Fez. I don't know if you guys have heard of that game or not, but
A super awesome game.
yeah, I love that game. It's just totally mind-blowing, and it was life-changing for me. That was also a very inspiring game.
Is that on iOS also?
No, it's not on iOS. It's only on PC and consoles and stuff like that. But it's one of these games where like you go through the whole game, and then after you beat it, it unlocks this whole second level of things that you can go through and beat the game again, but from a different perspective. And it's just kind of like you fall down the rabbit hole with that game. By the time I was done, I had a notebook full of notes and all this other stuff, and it was just a great game. So I'd recommend it to anybody.
Awesome. And another favorite question from Extreme Gamer. What is your favorite show and movie?
That's a really good question. My favorite TV show of all time is Lost. I love
Oh,
that.
that's good.
And I don't know, the favorite movie's too tough to narrow it all down to one. But probably if I had to, I'd say Scott Pilgrim versus the Universe.
Oh man, you have really good taste.
Thank you.
So good. Those are both awesome.
And another one, which Ratchet and Clank was your favorite? Lone Stars was Up Your Arsenal.
Up Your Arsenal was really good. I think my favorite was Going Commando because it had they always have these like little side gimmicks, and in Going Commando it was like a space flight sort of battle thing, and I really loved that. But I think the first 3 PS2 games are amazing, and then the first 2 PS3 games are also amazing.
I think I only played the first PS3 game, and there was one where you were mostly the robot.
Right, yeah.
Cool. Has Jordan ever visited the AppUniverse and eaten a hot dog with noodles on the side? Wow, that's such a trolling question.
That's awful. I just scolded him in the chat for that.
No comment.
Better not have. That's all I'm saying. Hot dogs are for friendship, not for eating. Unless you're Cali, then it's acceptable.
There was
How
an
does that make you
actual
feel,
question
Brizzle?
about that. What made you make this game aside from like Nintendo games?
Like what made me want to make it?
Yeah, what made you go mobile instead of like a console?
Yeah, well, it was mostly because we love gaming on it, and the other factor was that it's a really easy way of getting your game out there quickly. If you want to go on a console or even on the PC, it takes a little bit of extra work and a little bit of extra money and stuff like that. And we were pretty broken just trying to do what we could do. So you can publish a game on iOS if you pay $99, and all you need other than that is the software. So that was a great solution for us.
That's awesome. It's a good
not bad
entry
at all.
point for developers, yeah.
I have a question. Do you do this full time? Like, are you at the point where you can do this full time in your team, or are you guys still having to do like other things as well to help supplement it?
2 of us are doing it full time now. I've been doing it full time for about 10 months now or so. And but we're definitely not like rich or making tons of money. We're struggling to get by, but we are fortunate enough to be making enough right now to be able to do it full time, and so I'm really, really grateful for that. So
It's really awesome to be able to do what you love as a job.
yeah, we figure we'll just keep riding it for as long as we can and making great games. And if it all slams out someday, then I'll have a really like cool story to tell somebody someday, So
Mhm.
This is awesome.
That's awesome.
I hope you can make it rain one day.
thank you, I appreciate it.
Those are my good thoughts for you that I'll send to the universe. Make it rain.
Yeah. Nunya asks, what is your opinion on hamburgers?
Oh, you guys are trolling.
I don't know what to say to that. I don't want to offend you. I hot dogs and hamburgers. But I
Do you
think
want
if
to
there's one
encourage
thing you should take
behavior or
away
not?
with this, it's that mustard is the best comment.
Let's see.
Aside from questions, some of the other things that we wanted to talk about today, we wanted to talk a little bit about like indie developers, indie games, such stuff like that. Being that you guys are indie developers, what do you think? What do you think is the definition of like an indie developer or indie game? I would say mine is probably just like a smaller team, but I was curious on your input.
Yeah, I think I would go with that definition as well. It is kind of tricky these days with games like The Witness and stuff like that cost like tens of millions of dollars coming out, but still made by a guy that funded it mostly himself and a small team, right? So I would say anything where you're not getting paid for the game, like any game where you're not getting paid a salary to make it I would consider an indie developer. Like if you have 10 employees and you're paying them salary before your game even comes out, then at that point I don't really look at it as an indie anymore.
That makes sense. On to like the next kind of segment, if you will. I want to talk about what kind of games we're playing right now. I mean, it can be your game if all you do is play Callie's Caves. That would be cool. But what kind of games? This goes for everybody. What kind of games are you playing right now? In general, like what are your favorite games or game?
Let's start with Jordan.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I've been playing a lot of Splash Cars on my iPad lately. I think it's pretty new. I think it might have just came out last week, but it's basically like a top-down racing game where it's kind of like a racing game mixed with Splatoon or something. It's like your car emits paint behind it wherever you drive, and there's cops chasing you, and your goal is to make it around the whole level and paint as much of it as you can.
That's
And
awesome.
there's also like fuel pickups to make sure you don't run out of fuel and stuff like that, and you have to avoid the cops and make sure they don't crash you. I'm only about an hour into it so far, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and it's a free download. So
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
Is it PvP?
no, as far as I can tell, it's only single player so far, no online or anything. Yeah,
It sounds awesome. It sounds a lot like Splatoon.
Yeah.
it reminds me of Splatoon. I haven't really played much Splatoon, but your goal is to cover everything with paint. So
That's
What was
awesome.
the name of it? Splash Cars?
Splash Cards, yeah.
I will Google that and link to that in the chat. That sounds
How about
really
you,
cool.
Yuma? What are you playing right now?
I've been playing a lot of Crashlands, and I've also been playing a lot of Musician, which is actually the rebranded version of Guitar Bots, which is a how to play the guitar sort of game. You basically like have your mic, and when you play a note, it can register on the game, kind of like Guitar Hero. So I'm actually planning to play that later tonight on stream, so check it out if you haven't seen it before.
That sounds really cool. I would love
Yeah.
to be able to play guitar, but
That's my goal in
I
life.
saw that app. It is the coolest looking app.
Yeah.
It does look super cool.
I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar, and I was like, now there's a game that teaches you how to do that, so I'm gonna do that.
It makes me regret selling my guitar a long time ago.
No.
What are you playing right now, Brizzle? Anything specific?
I am ashamed to admit what I'm playing right now, but I'm very into it, and it is called Football Clicker, and it's just like Clicker, but it's PvP. So like, I have a team of people, right? So like I have a bunch of people that play with me. We have a team, and then you click the football a bunch of times, and then you level up people who kick the football a bunch of times, and then you fight other people who are also kicking the football a bunch of
That
times.
is awesome.
It's sad, but I love it. I love it a
gotta
lot.
download that one.
Football
I gotta
Clicker
get this
is
as well.
Free and join my team.
I would make fun of you, but I've been playing a very similar game called Tap Titans, which
I love
you
Tap
I
Titans.
downloaded that
You
too.
just click all day. You just
That
click.
is really good.
It's like crack. You're just like, I want that number to get higher. I just keep this dragon of score points. And gosh.
You have to like
It's so
pop all your
much-
skills in the bosses.
I have one person on my team. I'm gonna call out Kid Safe Shark really quick because he has it. I think he's getting like 1 trillion points per kick. Like he's only leveled up his kicker. And so every time he clicks, he calls himself One Kick Man in the thing. So I'm kind
One
of
kick man.
I wish I did that strategy before.
One
That's
kick, man.
Yeah,
Do we have any questions that we've missed?
Oh
let's
man,
see.
probably.
There were some a little bit higher up.
I keep talking about hot dogs. Don't ask about those.
Oh,
ones.
Lone Star asks, what is the goal of an indie
That's the
developer?
one I saw.
Sorry, me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's you.
Sorry. The goal of an indie developer is probably just to be able to survive long enough to make another game. I think that's our goal anyway. So we just want to be able to survive to make the next game, and that's about as far as you can think ahead, I think. So.
There was a question from Riddler also. Did you always want to make video games? And also, I think we already answered the question of why mobile games versus PC or console. But Kelly's Caves is also on PC now, so that's good.
There we go.
But
I
yeah,
didn't have to choose.
you always want to make video games your whole life.
I didn't actually want to make video games my whole life, but I've always loved playing them. So I think that I probably started deciding to want to make them about 3 years ago now. So I just one day decided that I was sick of my job. I had some money saved up, and I thought, let's just try quitting a job and making video games and see what
That's
happens with
awesome.
it. Yeah.
And so what was the learning process like?
It was pretty tough. I got the program called Game Maker, which you can get a free version of if anybody out there wants to try it. And I just started learning through YouTube tutorials, and there's like a really good help section and stuff like that in the program itself. And one thing led to another, and now we're here, I guess. So
You didn't have any experience. You just were like, let's download this program and learn.
yeah, pretty much. I think I did like a tiny bit of basic programming in school when I was a kid on a Commodore 64, and I think that might have helped a little bit with like the fundamentals. Like I knew what an if-then statement meant and stuff like that. So maybe I didn't start totally from scratch, but yeah, it was a pretty fast ramp up for sure.
Wow.
That's the coolest thing ever. I feel like that's like inspiration to everybody, because I would love to make a game one day and I don't know how. So I can just download a program and it'll be magic.
Yeah, just look up YouTube tutorials and there will guaranteed be like a million videos that will tell you how to do everything. So
Well, that's crazy.
It's like a super affordable program too.
yeah, we got Game Maker. It got the free version to start. It lets you do a game with up to like 15 objects in it, and that's enough to get going. And then from there, you can just move on up.
And
Yeah,
is it like
everyone here to make a game?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I missed that. I missed what your guys' question was there.
Well, mine was more of a comment, but Lone Star asks, what language is best coding mobile games?
I don't know. I'm probably not the right expert to ask on that. I think if you're looking to do a mobile game yourself, you could look into either Game Maker, which is really good for 2D games, or Unity, which is really good for 3D and 2D. And they're both free. I think Unity is totally free, and Game Maker is like a free trial version, and then you can pay $50 for the whole thing or whatever. So.
Wow.
Going back to like games that we're playing that I didn't mention, kind of indie game is Critical Ops, which I play a flippin' ton of, even though it's down right now. I don't know if any of you guys have played it. I know Brizzle has, but it's super, super fun. It's like
It's so good.
best shooter NA.
Wow.
Ever.
And do you use
So
touch
good.
controls or do you use a controller?
It's like the only game on mobile that I'm okay using touch controls on.
The only game on
Except
mobile.
Callie's Caves, of course.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of that, is there controller support ever coming to Callie's Caves?
Please.
We are planning on putting MiFi controller support in. I just haven't actually gotten a MiFi myself yet to test it on, so that will be coming for sure.
That's
You want
awesome.
to have like 5? You want one?
I'll send you my shipping address.
At least then I'll know that I was a part of like helping them.
Dude, you were the reason that controls work.
One of the other things we're looking at is what kind of games are we looking forward to? I know there's some good games coming out. There's a lot of games that I'm playing that's in like beta or alpha or whatever right now, but are there any games that anybody's excited for that are coming out soon?
I'm excited for if The Binding of Isaac gets approved by Apple. And it apparently just got denied by Apple the other day, but
It did get denied. I'm
Oh,
super
really?
upset about that.
yeah, because there's
Why?
violence against children in it, which goes against Apple's policy, which actually is true and is fair and everything. But I don't know. I just want to play that game on iPad because I loved it on PC
They need
as
to
well,
like
so.
rebrand or
It
something.
went to it's on Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, and it actually got denied from Nintendo first because of questionable religious content. But I figure if
Oh.
Nintendo
What?
can get past it, then Apple should be able to get past the fact that it's like a little child getting beaten up. It's fine. It's super fun. So they should just be fine.
Yeah.
I feel like any game that has a child protagonist that is getting attacked by monsters is also a form of child getting beaten up.
That's true.
That's true.
Clearly.
I think it's maybe they might just think it's like disturbing for them or something, you know, like
Maybe.
in Apple's terms and conditions or whatever, they do say, hey, no matter what your game has in it or whatever, we're looking out for kids, and we just want you to know that we're concerned about kids, and we're not going to let you sell some crap to kids, sort of thing, you know. So I
Right.
think that they're definitely being overcautious, but it also kind of makes sense, you know.
Yeah,
Just-
I wonder how
It does.
Five Nights at Freddy's got passed.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Seriously, I cried playing that game. I can't do it.
I can't do it either.
It's too much. I can't even watch the reaction videos on YouTube. It's
I
just,
know. It's too shocking for me. I can't do jump scares.
I'm a baby.
For games that I'm super excited about, Final Fantasy IX is coming to iOS.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
It is?
It is. So I mean, on my channel, I'm always playing Final Fantasy VII. So 9 is like my third favorite Final Fantasy. They're not gonna have 10 on iOS anytime soon, but yeah, super stoked.
But still, 9 was a great one, so
I love
that sounds
9,
super
yeah.
exciting.
For
How about you,
real.
Brizzle?
I don't know. There's a lot of cool games I think that are coming out. I mean, I'm
You're
waiting
excited for the
games
Taylor
that I
Swift
like to
game,
be-
right?
Oh, dude, Tay-Tay is my baby. You know it. I'm so excited about Taylor Swift. No, what I was going to say is I really want games to get out of alpha and beta and just become regular. Like, Clash Royale looks like it's going to be a guilty fun game, and I'm going to spend lots of money. Oh, actually, I take everything back. Here's the one game, besides Kelly's Caves 4, of course. Soul of Eden by Rayark, and it's going to be amazing. It's by the same people who did Sidus and Demo and Implosion. And
Okay.
it's going to be, like, basically mix the graphics of Vainglory with, like, the card system of Clash Royale. And it's amazing and beautiful, and I can't
Oh.
come out.
So what is the game about? I haven't actually heard of it before.
I have no idea what it's about. The whole website isn't like, it's in Thai or something. I don't know. It's in this language I can't read. And I emailed their support, and I was like, I'm a hot dog, and I play video games, and I need the beta for your game. And they replied back to me.
It's awesome.
And they said that they were very excited that I supported them. They didn't know who I was. And to check on Facebook for any beta things. So
So I got a question here from Void for the hosts. What boss did you reach in Callie's Caves before this stream? I got to the deranged direwolf. What up?
you did? That's awesome.
Yeah. First boss.
Well, I didn't reach a boss, so my bad.
It's
I'm pretty
hard.
sure
It's
Bristles
hard
beat
to
the
reach a
game.
boss. I totally beat the game. 'Cause I'm amazing and OP.
I'm pretty sure it would take me more than 10 hours to beat the game.
It's pretty tough.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
We'll definitely try to make our
It's
next
one
game
of
a
the
little bit
two
easier.
games.
No.
No,
it's
no,
nothing
no,
hard.
no. I want to feel like I've accomplished something.
Exactly, yeah.
True.
It's rare. I hardly ever finish video games, and I finished Callie's Caves, so you should feel very
of
good about
accomplishment.
that.
I'm very proud of
Yeah.
that for sure.
You
Jordan,
really should
there's
be,
a
'cause I
question
don't.
from RoboBattle. What inspired you to make Callie's Caves?
Probably just some of the stuff we talked about before, like wanting to make a female hero in old games we had played in the past. I think that the main inspiration for the character is probably Penny from Inspector Gadget. I don't know if you know that cartoon at all.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
totally.
if Yuma knows because she grew up in Canada or whatever. But, yeah, it was our inspiration was mostly Penny from Inspector Gadget, and just our love of games is probably what inspired us to make it.
Hold up, is Inspector Gadget Canadian?
I don't know, but they showed it a lot here. That's what I
They
know.
did, yeah. That's why I was wondering, like, you guys have heard of Inspector Gadget, right?
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not in Canada, and I've watched Inspector Gadget, so.
Okay.
Okay, it's not just us,
Just
so
checking.
never mind.
America high five, Brandon.
Yeah!
Canadian high five.
You don't count.
The App Store, I believe, right now does not have an age limit. Lone Star wants to know what we think about the App Store having an age limit. Unless it does, in which case.
Well, they have parental controls, but I think that that's a good enough solution myself. I don't think they should limit, because I think kids get a lot out of iPads and stuff like that these days, so we
If
shouldn't
they
limit
allow
them.
Tinder,
Yeah, that's true.
They allowed to do.
Yeah,
come on now. Sorry.
it's true.
Well, as far as games that I'm excited for, it's like I don't know much about it, but they had the Super Bowl commercial for Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Super,
Oh, yeah.
super exciting. I don't even completely understand how it works, but I'm really excited to be able to be like Ash in real life.
Have you ever played Ingress before?
Have you ever played what?
Ingress. And I think it's
Never
probably
heard of
made
it.
by the same guys who made Ingress. And basically, you walk around to different locations, like around you, and it will tell you that, like a point is in the area, and you walk to the point. It's supposed to encourage you to explore your town. So I imagine that Pokemon Go is similar, where it's like, oh, there's a Charmander nearby. Go to this, like, piece of artwork and go catch the Charmander.
That sounds super cool. I'd be good with that.
I
I'm gonna
would
catch
I
them
would go
all.
for walks.
I would not do work. I would have a horrible time at my job because I'd be like, oh god, there's a Pikachu under my boss's desk.
Picture of my boss's desk. So I have a question for Jordan. Have you considered adding in multiplayer support for the platformer?
Yeah, definitely. That's something that we really, really want to do, but unfortunately, the software we have right now doesn't really support it on iOS. We could do it on PC, but like we're not super interested in doing a PC only game. We want to
Right.
make sure that we include iOS. So at this point, I don't think our next game will have any multiplayer stuff, unfortunately.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's cool though.
One
that
day
you're
we'll get smart
hoping
enough to
to.
do it. Yeah.
It's cool.
Here's a question. What is your opinion on people saying a game is worth being paid for or not? Like depending on how long the gameplay is. What is your what do you think is worth being free or not free? And then like how much money do you think a game like on the App Store should typically be worth?
It's a good question.
I think that I think that you see a lot of articles and stuff about people coming out and saying that their games that were premium priced didn't do very well, and it seems like as time goes on, the App Store is getting more heavily weighted towards the free side. But I do think that that's just the market, and that developers need to figure out ways to make that work for them. So I don't think that games are undervalued on iOS and stuff like that. I just think that some of these stories come out from people that haven't had great experiences with it, and then that kind of taints everybody's view on it.
That's a pretty good. Like for me, I would rather pay like real money for an app. Like even if it was like $60 or whatever. Like if that's the amount that games are on consoles, I'm okay spending that much money on a mobile game as long as it's made well and it's going to have updates and such. Like I mean, obviously $60 is a lot, though I did spend $100 on Guitar Hero, so whatever. But yeah, that's my opinion. I would rather like spend the money instead of having to worry about like in-app purchases, and because some people just they have so many in-app purchases, you could spend millions of dollars and never like buy everything.
Right. And that's how I felt about lots of different MOBAs where skins are available, and I will buy all of the skins. They're only cosmetic.
I definitely feel that way as well, where that's how I prefer it to be, but I just think that that's a minority opinion in this market, and that's just an unfortunate fact of the way things are. So
Yeah.
we had to battle really hard with that when we were making Pally's Case 3. It's, do we put out our next game for $2.99 and risk just getting buried and only selling 200 copies, or do we put it out for free, and then that way we make sure that a bunch more eyes are going to see it, and then hope that they buy something later on,
I think you guys did the right thing. I think
hopefully-
you guys did a really good compromise of the two, where you put out a really good quality free game, and if you want to play the New Game Plus mode, you can buy that. You can unlock weapons if you want, and you don't have to see ads anymore. But I think you guys have struck a really good balance as far as like from the user perspective of the freemium versus premium games. Like I'm in the same boat as Yuma and App. I think it's just because we're used to buying video games. Like I remember when back in my day, we had to go to the game store and like spend like
Oh my God.
a
I
gajillion
go to
dollars
Blockbuster.
on the game. Yeah, go to Blockbuster
Renting games was the best.
Man, yeah,
I was so sad when you kids stopped doing that.
Yeah, but now we have these apps. It's awesome that they're free, but I think that some games they use it as a crutch, or they make money too heavily involved in if you can win a game or not and succeed. And
That's definitely true.
yeah, you don't do
Jordan,
that.
what all spending $2.99 on the game? What all does that get people extra when they go ahead and purchase that in game? What extras does that do for them?
So when you play the game, when you get it the free version, you can play through all 8 zones, all 120 levels or whatever, and your weapons can all go up to level 10, and then from there, there's like a sort of like cliffhanger at the end sort of thing, and then the full story doesn't get revealed until the end of New Game Plus. So when you buy New Game Plus, you get the end of the story, the there's 10 new enemy types. You can level the weapons up to level 20, and you get all of New Game Plus mode, which is like a remix of the campaign again with tougher enemies and stuff like that. So
It's awesome.
Sounds super cool. Somebody asked a question for the host. Are you going to play more Callie's Caves after a real test on your goodwill? Me specifically, I will for sure make it a point in my next stream to play Callie's Caves so that I can really like understand the game and get further in it.
Awesome.
At least further than Yuma. So
I'm totally gonna play the game, but probably off stream because I'm terrible at platforming and I feel like I'll just embarrass myself the entire time.
That's what makes it fun, Yuma. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, but I get super salty and that's not entertaining.
I did
you beat the game, you said, yeah?
Yeah, I did. I didn't beat New Game Plus or Barra's Quest, but I beat the whole regular story game, and I think I played most of it on stream. There might have been a couple of nights when I forgot that I was saving it for stream and I played it for a few hours, but I played most of it on stream and I really enjoyed it. So,
after you beat the game and you unlock Plus or not, what is the replayability of the game? What have you like seen so far?
See, I replayed it, I think, before I actually unlocked Plus. I replayed it a lot anyway. I like replaying the earlier levels. I think it kind of feels like a different game, so I think it's totally worth it because like you have different enemies that do different things and they have different patterns, and you can level up your guns and your weapons even further. So you're experiencing a bunch of stuff that you didn't experience at the first go through. So I think it's got awesome replayability, and I'm not just saying that because Jordan's sitting right here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway. We had a whole special super program set up, but it started to fail on us about 10 minutes before the show, so hooray!
Yay!
So we're going to do it a way that Paradigm does it in his chat. If you guys watch him, where basically people spam a whole bunch of crap, and Brizzle's going to take a screenshot.
Oh yeah,
and,
I got it right
I
here.
believe whoever is at the top of the list is going to be the winner. In the future, we will have a much better system set up. We just need to figure it out better. So, you want to talk real quick so they can see
This is a great system.
Talking about Callie's Caves. This is what we're giving away. This is the how do I even describe this? It's called perler beading. So it's melted together pixels of the Callie's Caves main character, Callie. So you can, I don't know, affix it to your wall. You can put it behind things. You can add it to your shirt. You can.
Describe how you made it for people, because I found it interesting.
Okay, yeah. So there are these little beads that you see here. And what I do is I put it on a pegboard, stick wax paper on top of it, and then I iron it. And what it does is it melts it together. And you can kind of see each of the little squares are actually circles that just turned into squares because they got melted together. So that's how it's like affixed. And it turns into this. And it's pretty sturdy, like I can do this kind of thing and it doesn't break. So it's cool.
That's amazing.
It is definitely really cool. Okay, so we're going to do the giveaway in just a second. The goals of the giveaways will be to have something that's related to whatever developer or subject or whatever we're talking about. So be prepared for those every week. We're going to have something every week. So I guess should they spam something specific or just random letters and such?
I say random. I say it's just crazy.
All right.
So nuts.
We'll let it be crazy, and then whenever you want to take the screenshot is when it'll be. So
Do we want to
let's
include
go ahead and
mods or
type in
not?
chat and tell them.
I'm going to say straight up, no mods in the giveaway just because you guys have an advantage. I'm sorry. I love you, though. You guys are amazing. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah! Okay. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay, let's see. I'm pulling it up right now.
All right.
I never got it. And it would be so not ironic, like the opposite of ironic if you got it. Let's see. Okay, I kid you not, it's Viravoid. I kid you not.
Yay! Congratulations.
I kid you not. And here's why this is so crazy. He's actually the reason I play Callie's Caves.
Yeah, he recommended it. So big thanks to Viravoid.
See if I can show you, just so that you know it's not rigged.
Void.
It's not rigged.
Not rigged. There was
Not
a delay. Boo.
See right there.
Void.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
it says my name. I'm famous.
Yeah, and Brandon.
Go ahead and message Recharge TV or Yuma since she has it on Twitter or Discord or wherever, and we will get that out to you. I think that just about does it for our first episode. So hooray!
Hooray!
Yeah, good job, everyone.
Does anybody have anything else they would like to add before we end?
I'd just like to say thank you guys for having us on the show and helping us like talk about our game and stuff like that. It's a real honor for us to be on the first episode of the show, and we really look forward to watching the next one.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you so much for being on. We went through who we could ask, and Brizzle's like, we have to have Callie's Caves.
That's
so
amazing.
You were one of the very first that we even thought of. The next show, Pun, will be every single Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Mobcrush, and we will be uploading them to YouTube as well. So you should be able to find it there. It's not youtube.com/recharge because we don't have 1 million subs and you have to, but we will have a link for you somewhere. So just
Next
to
time
chat
we'll
for
have a
that.
million subs.
The bit.ly link is in chat right now, I think.
Okay, awesome.
Riddler and Lone Star posted it.
Brizzle or Yuma, are either of you streaming today?
I'll be streaming later today, probably in 2 hours or so. Going to be playing guitar, so you can watch me fumble my way through trying to play the guitar.
Well, that sounds super cool. So everyone, 2 hours, go see Yuma. But yeah, that does it for us. So yeah, next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't know who our guest is. We have bunches of people lined up, so we just have to confirm it. But that is it. So thank you all for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
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 I need to play some sort of super cool exit. We'll do the trailer.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, or we can just have Brizzle. That's pretty cool too.
That is super cool. I'm so
They hear me?
it looks funnier when you don't cover your mouth.
Alright, guys. Next week will be all beatboxing with Brizzle.
Yes.
Oh
Be up for an hour. Boxing with Yuma.
Oh god.
Alright, we'll see you next week, guys.